we had a very heated argument, and I look back on it now, and I think part of it was inside of me. I might have realized I'm getting too close. You get too close to fire, you get burned. And I remember basically telling him, I never want to argue with you again about this. I don't want to talk about Catholicism. I'm sick and tired of it. And I got very upset. And in the end, and he said, okay, we won't talk about this anymore. And I remember my sister asked me, again, my sister, she asked me about, a couple weeks later, she said, you're not thinking about becoming Catholic, are you? And I said to her as strongly as possible, there's no chance. No way I'm becoming Catholic. And I meant it, and I was sincere. I had no desire, no thoughts outwardly, consciously, that I would ever become Catholic. I said, no, there's not a chance of becoming Catholic. Looking back on it, I think one of the reasons I was so angry at my friend, and I told him to basically be quiet about this, is because I realized I was getting very close, and I was getting more and more interested in that. But really, after that, though, he did. He said, okay, I respect that. You don't want to talk about it, and we stopped. Later, he told me that was the day he started praying for me. And it was a month later, actually. A month later, I went to a talk. I asked my Catholic friends to go to it. It was a Protestant who was giving a talk on Mary. And I thought, this is perfect, because we can set those Catholics straight about Mary. I mean, I respected Mary. I realized that the Protestant bringing down of Mary, kind of looking at her, ignoring her, was wrong. I mean, she really was a vessel of grace. She was a handmaid of the Lord. The Bible says, all generations will call her blessed. I recognized all that as a Protestant, but I still thought the Catholics way overdid Mary. I mean, why do we have 10 Hail Marys to only one Our Father in the Rosary? I mean, come on. I mean, you are overdoing Mary. And so I thought this would be perfect. I'd go to this talk on Mary by a Protestant. And I remember during the talk, in the middle of the talk, he's talking about Mary, and he all of a sudden goes, and I've started praying the Rosary. And he whips out his Rosary. I'm like, oh no. And he says, and I've decided to become Catholic. And I had no idea. I mean, he was billed as a Protestant talk on Mary, and he decided to become Catholic. And I was just, oh my goodness. I'm sitting there with my Catholic friends, and I'm just kind of going down in my chair like, oh please, nobody say anything to me. And it was very awkward. And my friends knew it was awkward too, because they knew I didn't want to talk about it. And I kind of brought him there to bring him around to the Protestant ideas. And so I remember at the talk was over, we're sitting there, and this woman comes up, this older woman, the type of Catholic old woman that runs, that makes the church go around, because they're praying every day and they're doing all the good works. And she came up to me and she said, son, you look skeptical. I said, well, no, I'm Protestant. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll pray for you. And my friends are dying. They're sitting